Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, Coco Kinsey. I'm Coco Kinsey, and actually this is not what I intended my first video to be at all. But yesterday I was just thrown off so much that upon dealing with my emotions, I decided to hopefully I said if I wake up early and have some clarity and feel a little bit better, then I'll do a video about how and why I was feeling the way I was feeling. Like I'm super early. I mean, so early that I'm just starting my day with my chlorophyll drink, and hopefully, baby doesn't wake up ready to nurse. 6 year old doesn't come in my face. Let's get started. um, Yesterday was tough. So for anybody who's a Love Island fan, which from the title, I'm assuming that's why you're here. It was a rough day if you were a Jaleb fan. It was. They broke up, which of course a breakup can be sad, and I mean I wouldn't be devastated over a break. Maybe I would. I don't know. Maybe I would. But like, cause I was pretty vested. I was pretty vested. But I would be disappointed, but not like sad as I was yesterday. Yesterday was rough. I'll get into the alleged fraudster in a second. But just to give backstory how I got obsessed with Love Island. So in February, at the end of February, February 29th, I had my baby. And I had a pretty traumatic birthing experience, which is a whole nother video for a whole nother day. And postpartum was it was kicking. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. I mean, it was bad, bad. Again, another video, another day. But between the pandemic, being a new mom, still being a homeschool mom, and then on top of that, when just the protests were breaking out, just with the racial tensions kind of coming to a head, it was really tough. And I mean, I had tanks going up and down my street. I had helicopters. It was rough. So that was even like where it started with the George Floyd protests, and then Rashad Brooks at the Wendy's is about maybe 2 miles down the street, and that hit because that hit close to home, obviously, just for a whole lot of reasons. Because I frequented that place. It was right by our old house. Well, and our current house as well, but it was just a lot. So not to get that's again a different video. So my mom is like, well, you need to really get into Love Island, get your mind off. It'll get your mind off of all that you're going through, and I'm just like, oh, no, I'm not getting into a stupid reality show. No, okay, no. As it would be. My postpartum got so bad that my husband, as he worked during the day, I literally like needed to be babysat. So I wound up with my parents, and I wound up being forced to watch Love Island in a sense. And I fell in love, of course. I fell in love, and I fell in love with Justine. I fell in love with her spirit, her fashion, just everything about her. Like, I mean, just she was just a beautiful girl inside and out, and she was just such a joy to watch. So as I'm watching, because I had to go back because I didn't come in right when it started, as I'm watching and I'm seeing her be rejected, I'm just like, what? Like, are we not seeing what I see? Like, what is it? And so she was being rejected. And it did bring up some colorism issues from my past that it made me think about. But still, as it would be because I came in when I did, I was able to watch her winning season kind of begin. So it was like, okay, well, even though I'm watching this, I know what's going to happen. So I'm glad I didn't come in complete like my mom. Well, in a sense, because my mom, that's what made her really love it, is because she was able to watch that kind of story blossom and develop. But I am not always the best at coming in from I need to know that it's going to get better. So when I came in, Caleb was there and that was blossoming, and it was so good from seeing her be rejected so much or kind of friend zone. It's like, oh, you're nice, but AK, you're not pretty enough. That's how it felt. It wasn't what was said, but that's kind of how it felt. And unfortunately, a lot of that seemed to come from the black guys on the show, which brought up its own issues inside of me from kind of what I remember or have had in the past. And it was hurtful, but that's what made the story of Caleb and Justine so special to me, because it was like, oh my goodness, he loves her just as she is. He keeps complimenting her. I mean, it was just lovely to see somebody just come in and celebrate somebody so authentically. So I thought. So I thought, in the words of Murad, don't be a god-forsaken liar. But that's a whole other. But no, he it was just lovely because it seemed like he was really, really into her. It was like, this is beautiful. So, even when they got out the villa, when they came out to the world, it seemed like everything was still, initially pretty good. It was like, man, this is just great. I'm so 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 happy for her, and happy for myself because it really really helped me get through such a hard time. And that's why yesterday when it happened the way it happened, I was like, oh my God, like, was all this a lie? What? And then just because it helped me so much, all I could think about was her and like, oh my goodness, this was something that really helped me. And now this girl is heartbroken and she just, oh my goodness, if you haven't watched it, and if you have, then just such a beautiful, beautiful girl, beautiful spirit. And so for this piece of trash to do that to her the way he did, allegedly, allegedly he had a whole girlfriend on the side as he was using her for clout. Now, this happens all the time. So, of course, again, it would be disappointing. Now, I probably still would have been devastated, like I said before, about that because that's just not who he showed himself to be. And I know some people say, "Oh, I saw hints of it." I did not. I didn't at all. I mean, maybe, but like, I mean, just even little subtle things like when he went back and spoke to Rachel, just saying, I apologize if I misled you. You deserve to talk about this. I just thought, man, like, even though I can understand why Rachel was hurt, kind of at the time, kind of, but I just thought, man, what a class act for him to put himself and go and still try to clear that up. I thought, what a good guy. Like, he was just really seemed like he just a great guy. So to see this charade that he put us all through, and to know that his family was in on it too, and that was so disgusting to me. And because probably, I don't know, it could be a whole nother experience in mania from my medicine, but I really had vested myself into these people. I really invested so much of my time into these people, and because I just thought it was so nice, and his family just, and to know that they were in and knew, and everybody was lying to this girl and using her to get to where they wanted to be was so cruel. And just in a time and space where we know that so many people are harming themselves. You had no regard for if this girl hurt herself, if how she felt, and just the audacity to come back and the BS apology he gave, and then to tell us the public or the fans that we need to remember that his family are people and have emotions. Do you mean the same people who play with our emotions? And if nothing else, even like, screw us. The people that you played with Justine's emotion, her family, how horrible, you narcissist. Like like the fact that you don't even grasp those social cues leads me to believe that you need help and that you need to pause and go seek serious therapy, because now I'm concerned, because right now what you're giving me is Scott Peterson vibes. Yes, it really reeks of Scott Peterson. Like, I really think you're a psychopath. And I don't, and this is coming from somebody who struggles with mental health. Like, you have to be able to recognize when you don't have boundaries. You have no boundaries. That's alarming. And not only, it's just, oh my goodness, so many layers. So I don't throw out like, I just really like, or maybe not psychopath, sociopath. Like, just the fact that he was able to lie so easily is so disturbing. Now, I almost want to apologize to Johnny, almost, but then see when I want to, then he goes and does the crap he did last night with that video, and I'm just like, okay, here we go with these social cues again that we're missing. um, but my goodness, like you know, Caleb is who I thought Johnny was. Kind of. I mean, I can let me not even put that on Johnny to that level, because I didn't think that Johnny was necessarily on that level. Like, he took it to a whole nother level of crazy. But yeah, that's what I thought Johnny was. I was like, oh, he's a user. He is using. Oh, let me not. He's an opportunist. He is using and trying to take advantage of this opportunity by any means almost necessary. I see that Caleb was really about the by any means necessary, but it looks like the chickens have come home to roost. Mhm. Ting. But no, he just what his day is coming, and I see his little follow. You did all this for followers for this, and they are dwindling by the thousands. It warms my little heart to know that there's still some sane people out here who support right. What he did was just deplorable. It was so disgusting. And what it really did was open the door to just really the door that keeps on opening, where the like obviously the situation that we have just on the magnitude of the country, the bigger issue, and then just on little shows where you see like the situation in Basketball Wives. Can't say that I watched the whole thing, but I've seen enough snippets with OG and Evelyn. It just colorism just continuously follows us, and I'm so over it. And so that's kind of what it brought up in me, that it brought up in me a hurt, the things that I thought I kind of dealt with, because I am 9 years almost in, married with three lovely boys. So I really couldn't think about, like, oh my God, like, but what am I so emotional about? But when I woke up, it was like, oh, maybe you have not dealt with some of the hurts of your past. And it did remind me, like, oh my goodness. Just it reminded me of the feeling from what I mean, I don't know how Justine feels, but it reminded me of kind of that feeling of being rejected, and then kind of like just not being good enough. And it's one thing to be friend zoned, but it's one thing to be the ugly girl or considered the ugly girl because of your skin color. And maybe that's not all of that. I'm judging off the skin color issue, because a lot of his friends and his friends, or quite a few of his friends, have kind of made comments about Justine as being ugly, and And so it like I had a boyfriend tell me one time, I don't want any coon babies with you. And maybe he was joking, but it really did strike a nerve that was very hurtful to me. And it's something that apparently has been carrying deep down. I've been carrying around deep down. So it made me kind of reflect on that. It made me think about just growing up, this comment of hearing, you're pretty for a dark skinned girl. I hate that statement so much. And I remember hearing someone tell a friend that, and I remember speaking up like, oh my, like why? Why can't she just be pretty? And it's just, oh, well, I don't see why you're mad because you're not even dark. And I just remember, like, so what? My mother's dark, my grandmother's dark. I mean, I come from a family of all shades, and we celebrate every single one of them. And it's like, who cares? Like, maybe I just carrying all that kind of stuff. I mean, I've even had people come up to me just because my parents are darker shades of brown. Are you adopted? That in itself is so rude and has so many like underlying implications. It's just it had though all these emotions come up for me, and it just made me realize like that's why I was so down, and that's why I just know we have to continue to keep moving forward and keep pushing the narrative to get better. I was so pissed about Caleb. I could have sent him a million messages. Not to say I didn't have a couple of dummy accounts, but um, hmm, I could have sent him more. I could have sent him more, and I could have like just gave him my whole attention and time. But I really, really, really just wanted to take the time to celebrate Justine and let her know, because as someone who has been in a place, and I'm not at all saying this is where she is, but I am a person who's been hurt and felt rejected, felt stupid, as I'm sure so many of us have. But it doesn't feel good, and it doesn't feel good at all, I'm sure. I can't imagine going through it on this magnitude at this level. So, I really, really hope that the support is there, because I never want you to feel so alone, to feel worthless. And so I hope and pray that all of us who really love Justine, and even those who don't necessarily know Justine, take the time to go check her out a little bit. Check out her Instagram page, check out her YouTube channel. Take some time while we're still going through this crazy time to binge watch Love Island if you haven't, and kind of get a chance to see what we all saw, and hopefully we can continue to uplift our queen. And and then continue to have healthy conversations about why this keeps happening, and why do we keep coming to this point? Do why is colorism still an issue in 2021? Like, we need to get to the root of the problem. Why are just why? Like, why are we here? That's my ramble for the day. I promise my next video will be a little bit more put together, and the thoughts will not be as muffled. Like I said, I just woke up and it was so much on my heart to do, just because I was going through. I was really going through yesterday, and I just wanted to take the time to share how I was feeling, and to see how you guys are feeling, and just to let you guys know that you're not alone if you woke up yesterday to that horrible, awful situation and we're feeling down. We are here together. Please like and subscribe for more content. Um, I may say more as stuff goes on. I'm pretty sure I will because I'll probably be emotional about that. But also, I'll be having a lot more videos on self care, um, just motherhood, blended families, you name it. I am here for the content. My next video will be dropping on Wednesday. So please, please come back, check it out, support. Again, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks so much for listening to my TED Talk.